So, what if I tell you there was a cricketer who in the first 4 years of his captaincy led Australia to only 7 wins out of 39 test matches, yet went on to become the greatest skipper Australia has ever produced? Allan Border. Border embodied resilience and determination during Australia's toughest times. As a lone warrior, he stood firm against the fiercest opponents, consistently delivering when his team needed it most. He was a man who emerged from the ashes of defeat, a captain who led his team from the brink of oblivion to the pinnacle of glory. This is the story of Allan Border, the man who transformed Australian cricket. Born on July 27, 1955 in Sydney, Australia, Allan Border's early years were filled with a love for sport. His childhood wasn't just about cricket, he also had a passion for baseball. Little did anyone know, these early experiences were laying the groundwork for a career that would transform the game of cricket. Border's baseball days gave him a competitive edge and strategic mindset, yet it was cricket that truly won his heart. Allan Border's professional journey began in an unconventional manner. His test debut came about due to the disruption caused by Kerry Packer's World Series cricket. The 1977-78 series had divided the cricketing world, and with many top players sidelined, young Border found himself thrust into the spotlight. It was an opportunity born out of necessity, yet Border seized it with a determination that would define his career. In the 4th test match against England in Sydney, he was in a class of his own, scoring 60 not out and 45 not out, even as Australia lost the match and the Ashes. While his teammates faltered against England's bowlers, Border's skill and resolve stood out. During that challenging period for Australian cricket, Allan Border emerged as the team's sole beacon of hope. From a young age, Border exhibited an exceptional ability to handle pressure and take on responsibility, proving to be a reliable and steady force for his team in the toughest of times.
Allan was a pioneer, a serious pioneer for what he wanted to get done.
As a batsman, Border was a rock. Allan Border might not have possessed the elegant technique of Greg Chappell or the explosive power of Adam Gilchrist, but he rose to the pinnacle of the batting world during an era marked by unpredictable pitches and fearsome bowling lineups from every cricketing nation. His knack for stabilizing an innings to grind out runs when the odds were against them became the backbone of Australia's resurgence. And what makes his batting more special is the way he counter-attacked the West Indian pace battery. Amidst a barrage of ferocious pace and hostility, Border stood unflinching, often single-handedly anchoring Australia's innings. Most batsmen excel on their home turf, but Allan Border had a knack for delivering exceptional performances overseas. At home, Border scored 5,743 runs at an average of 45.94 across 86 tests. His overseas record was even more impressive, scoring 5,431 runs at an average of 56.57 from 70 tests. Border maintained an average above 45 in every country he played in. Among all the batsmen who have scored 5,000 runs away from home, Border's average of 56.57 stands as the highest.
He was as brave as they come. In an era that was dominated by West Indies fast bowling, he was one of the few men, dare I say it, to master it.
The year was 1984. Australian cricket was in turmoil. Kim Hughes had just stepped down as the captain. The team had suffered a series of humiliating defeats. Morale was at an all-time low and the future seemed bleak. Amidst this chaos, a new captain was appointed. A man of few words but immense resolve, Allan Border. Border's early captaincy was anything but smooth. The team struggled and the critics were relentless. The lowest point came in a 1986 test match against England, where they suffered a crushing defeat in just 3 days. Despite this, Border refused to succumb to the mounting pressure, and the turning point arrived with the appointment of Bob Simpson as coach, and things started to take shape in a better way from that point onward. Under Border and Simpson, Australia began to rebuild, brick by brick, run by run, and the partnership paid off when, against all odds, Australia won their first ever World Cup title in 1987. No one had given them a chance looking at the young squad, but they proved everyone wrong. The World Cup victory became the turning point in Australia's history, and with this young team, Allan Border would go on to make history. In the 1989 Ashes series, Australia, having not won the Ashes in a decade, were labelled as the weakest team in Ashes history.
I was pretty confident at the start of the series in '89 that I could do the same to Allan Border again as we've done to him and his team in '85.
However, under the leadership of a transformed Allan Border, they humiliated England, securing a 4-0 victory. While Border was once known for his soft and friendly demeanour, by 1989, he had evolved into a fiercely aggressive captain who refused to engage with the opposition. Border's fierce determination and refusal to accept mediocrity transformed the team's mentality. This tenacious approach left a lasting mark on a young Steve Waugh, who adopted Border's hard-nosed leadership. Waugh would later carry forward this legacy, leading Australia to unprecedented heights with the same spirit of aggression and dominance that Border had instilled. And many might know that Allan Border was nicknamed Captain Grumpy due to his stern, aggressive and no-nonsense demeanour on and off the field. Still, even in that, he could inspire, most famously during a test in 1986 in stifling heat in India. Victorian Dean Jones, who was on the verge of fainting, told Border he could not continue. Border's blunt reply was that if Jones didn't want to bat, no problem, he'd find a Queenslander to take his place. Fueled by this challenge, Jones pushed through to score a double century, demonstrating how Border's tough love approach could ignite extraordinary performances. Allan Border's career was defined by remarkable consistency and versatility, averaging 50 runs per innings over his Test career and 51 as captain. He scored 11,174 runs and 27 centuries in 156 Test matches. He broke Sunil Gavaskar's record for most Test runs in 1993 and is the only player to score 2 150s in a single Test, achieved against Pakistan in 1979-80 series. Border also took 112 international wickets at an average of 32.10, often bowling long spells in the absence of a top-quality spinner before Shane Warne. His Test economy rate of 2.28 is the best among post-1975 Australian spinners. In ODIs, he collected 73 wickets at 28.36 and scored 6,524 runs. Border's impact on Australian cricket cannot be overstated. He transformed a struggling team into one that rediscovered its self-belief and ambition. His leadership laid the groundwork for the future triumphs of Australian cricket, and he will be remembered as the captain who paved the way for the emergence of Australia's golden generation. Just as Border transformed Australian cricket with his leadership, Dennis Lillee revolutionized it with his blistering pace. To explore how Lillee's fiery bowling reshaped the game and left an indelible mark on Australian cricket, click on the video being displayed on your screen. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Until next time, keep watching this beautiful game. See you soon.